What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Freedom Fire Podcast, where we want to stoke the flames of freedom every single day. My name is Kendall Bowman, and if you thought that the crisis at the southern border might be slowing down, not only were you wrong about that, but it's also about to get a whole lot worse. From Timcast, the Biden administration is sending 1,500 troops to the southern border. U.S. officials are expecting a surge of more than 35,000 migrants flooding through El Paso after Title 42 ends. The new troops will be performing administrative functions and will augment the 2,500 military personnel who are currently providing support along the U.S. border with Mexico, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security said in a statement. Here's a quote here. In preparation for the return of Title VIII immigration enforcement, the State Department and the Department of Homeland Security are implementing sweeping measures with our regional partners to reduce irregular migration. I love that. I love that statement. Reduce irregular migration. Sure, as if your entire administration hasn't been nothing but irregular migration. Ensure safe, orderly, and efficient processing and promptly remove individuals without a legal basis to remain in the United States, DH officials stated. Now, for those of you who do not know what Title 42 is, Title 42 is a title that was put into place under Donald Trump, and it allowed all migrants coming across the border who did not have or who did have some kind of illness. We could instantly take those people, process them, put them in the system, and push them right back out of the country. Okay, it cut down on a lot of the illegal immigration and allowed us to keep COVID out of the country as well. Back during the whole COVID debacle bullcrap. Let's keep reading. The DoD personnel will be performing non-law enforcement duties such as ground-based detection and monitoring, data entry, and warehouse support. DHS added DoD personnel have never and will not perform law enforcement activities or interact with migrants or other individuals in DHS custody. Now, this is a problem across the board. These troops here are not going to be involved in any kind of law enforcement duties like this just said. But the problem is that Border Patrol isn't doing that either. If you just go down to the southern border, or if you just look at any videos of the processing of these migrants, the Border Patrol is not doing their job. They're not detaining these people. In fact, they are quite literally just helping them come across the border. This is what is happening under the Biden administration. Let's continue to read. Officials say the additional force of active duty troops will free up law enforcement personnel to better perform their jobs. Like I just said, those law enforcement officials are already not doing their jobs, so this is not going to help at all. The troops will come from Army and Marine units, are expected to begin arriving by May 10th and will be on a 90-day temporary deployment. Pentagon spokesperson Brigadier General Pat Ryder said during a press conference, these 1,500 military personnel will fill critical capability gaps such as ground-based detection and monitoring, data entry, and warehouse support until CBP can address these needs through contracted support, Ryder told reporters. He added that over time, the soldiers could potentially be replaced with National Guard troops, reserve forces, or contractors. El Paso, Texas, which borders Mexico, has declared a state of emergency while city officials are preparing for a flood of more than 35,000 migrants who are currently stuck in the violent Mexican city of Juarez, just a few miles away. Under the Biden administration, illegal migration to the U.S. has hit record levels for the fiscal year ending on September 30th, 2022. Border Patrol agents had more than 2.7 million migrant encounters. For comparison, that figure represents nearly 1 million more encounters than the preceding year and is roughly the same number of encounters that occurred during all 4 years of the Trump administration combined. Do you really believe that this is not something that they're allowing to happen? It seems like it is. A day before DHS officials announced the troop surge, a coalition of more than a dozen groups sent a letter to Congress urging members to support H.R. 2, the Secure the Border Act. This flagship package represents the strongest border security and enforcement legislation put forth to date and fulfills key promises made in the Commitment to America, the letter states. The series of policy proposals that have passed through committee markups with full debate are a common sense response to the chaos unleashed by the Biden administration and would prevent further abuse of immigration laws to usher in even more mass legal immigration. I should have brought up another story that really supplements this story. Guys, this is getting out of hand. We're expecting a group of 35,000 migrants to flood across our southern border into the state of Texas. And of course, we have no idea who these people are. No idea. Absolutely no idea. Many of these people will make it through untouched. Many of them will cross the border illegally, and they will, they'll be getaways. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we have no idea who they are. That's a problem, man. Listen, I'm not against immigration. I'm not against that. This entire country was founded on the idea that you can come here, you can get better opportunities for your life, for your family, and all of that. I truly believe in all of that. You want to come here and get yourself a better life, fine. That's fine. But at the end of the day, we have no idea who these people are. When you get these massive surges of people across the southern border, one, there's going to be a lot of people that get away. You're not going to know who they are. You're not going to be able to process them. And that's very dangerous. They could be violent criminals. They could be terrorists from all over the world. They could be, we have seen surges of Chinese immigrants, like military-aged men from China coming across the southern border. I'm like, guys, is that not the country that hates us, and we're just allowing their military-aged men to come right on into our country? You see my point? That's a problem, guys. And it's being allowed to happen at extreme rates. Where was those numbers at? More than 2.7 million migrant encounters just in one fiscal year of 2022. Just in one fiscal year. More than all of the Trump administration combined. Guys, we have no idea who these people are. And at the end of the day, these troops are not going to do anything. What? They're going to do some paperwork? Like they're going to help in processing? Border Patrol is already not doing their job. They're already not following the laws because Biden is hamstringing them and telling them, you cannot do your job. You cannot detain these people and send them back across the border. You cannot do that. We will fire you or whatever. These people are not being allowed to do their jobs because of the Biden administration. 2.7 million people. Guys, if this were any other country, if we were any other country, this would not be allowed to happen. Maybe the UK, maybe France, they allow all that crap too. But if we were any other country besides them, this would not stand. This would not be allowed to happen. Guys, we have no idea who these people are. This is extremely dangerous. For example, we just had an illegal immigrant in the state of Texas go on a mass shooting rampage and kill 5 people, including children. Yeah, that happened. If the Biden administration does their job, that never happens. If the Biden administration just simply did their job of keeping these illegal immigrants out of the country and securing our border, those five Americans would still be alive today. And then, of course, you have stories like I believe it was a 15-year-old girl in the state of Ohio was sexually assaulted by an illegal immigrant and impregnated by that illegal immigrant. That doesn't happen if the Biden administration just simply does their job. Yet here we are. We all have to deal with the ramifications of Biden's failures to secure our southern border. All of us are going to suffer because of it. Think about it. All the way up in Ohio. There's nowhere near the southern border. But of course, the northern border isn't secure either. They fly over America, right into Canada, and then they come right into the country. Guys, this is insane. 2.7 million people came into this country, and we have no idea who they are. And here's the thing. This is not including all of the people that they don't know about, who snuck in, who got away. This number is probably much larger than we think it to be. Guys, you got to be doing what these people were doing right here. A day before DHS officials announced the troop surge, a coalition of more than a dozen groups sent a letter to Congress urging members to support H.R. 2, the Secure the Border Act. Guys, call your reps. Tell them this is getting out of hand. Our communities are suffering. El Paso is a city right now that is dying because of this. The city is being ransacked, destroyed. It's dying. They have no place for these people to go. They're just laying in the streets, under bridges, everywhere. It's not working, guys. These people are suffering because Biden is just saying, oh, yeah, come on in. You can just, sleep on the sidewalk, I guess. And these people are coming from all the way from South America. I've talked about this in one of my previous videos. They're coming all the way from South America through this thing called the Darien Gap. Okay? Many of these people are women and children, where it is not a case of if they will be sexually assaulted on the way here. It's a case of when. Guys, there was a story. Gosh, I wish I had pulled these up beforehand. But there was a case of an 8-year-old girl who had been tested after she had been sexually assaulted. She had done a rape test. They found over 60 different DNA samples in this 8-year-old girl. Guys, that is disgusting. And each day that we are not dealing with this Biden buffoon, we're allowing this to happen. We should be contacting our reps, and we should be saying, hey, Marjorie Taylor, hey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, hey, Matt Gaetz, hey, Lauren Boebert, hey, guys, where's that impeachment that you guys said was coming? Where's that at? You guys said you were going to do it, but no. Where's it at? Where is it at? You're not doing what you said you were going to do. Guys, Republicans, do your freaking jobs and get this buffoon out of office, if possible. Who knows? You're probably not going to get it through the Senate, but do it. They did it to Trump twice, knowing that they wouldn't be able to actually remove him from office, but they still impeached him twice because it makes the guy look bad. It makes people hate the guy. Now, obviously, with 70% of the country not wanting Biden to run again, it wouldn't be very hard to make him look even worse than he already does. But guys, this is extreme. Like I just said, an 8-year-old girl being attacked in that manner is disgusting. And the more that we just sit around and just, oh, well, there's nothing that I can really do about it, I can't go protest. I can't contact my reps. I can't just freaking type in a freaking email on my phone and send it to my like, seriously, guys? This is not that hard. I do this all the time. We have to be better. We have to be pressuring our reps day in and day out. We need to be going to their office dang near every single day and saying, hey, when are you going to fix the southern border? Hey, when are you going to fix this? What are you going to do about it? Come on, let's get going, guys. Make it freaking happen. All right, I will have another story coming for you guys in just a moment. But before I get into that, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know if you like my commentary on this, and if you don't, let me know why. All right, let's get into this absolute insanity from English is hard. From Timcast, Kremlin says Vladimir Putin survived an attempted assassination. The Russian government announced Ukraine attempted to assassinate President Vladimir Putin during an overnight drone strike. We regard these actions as a planned terrorist attack and an attempt on the life of the president, the Kremlin said in a press release on May 3rd. I have the video for you right here of the attempted terrorist attack. Let's watch. So it's coming in from right there and boom. I believe they shot it down. I believe that that's why it exploded. So yeah, like literally zero damage to the building at all. But, you know, I mean, here's the thing. If something like that were to happen at the White House, like, come on now. We would all be saying the same thing. Like, come on. Like, it's the White House, right? Like, well, that's the exact same feeling that they have for the Kremlin. You know what I'm saying? Now, this morning, it just came to my attention that this has reached a much more dangerous stage, seeing as how now the Russians are blaming the United States for masterminding this so-called terrorist attack and assassination attempt on Vladimir Putin. Now, before I get into this story, I want you guys to understand this could absolutely be a false flag event by the Russians to try to justify attacking the U.S. But I'll explain this afterwards, after I read the story. But all of this is still our fault. And I'll explain to you why. Russia accuses U.S. of masterminding Kremlin drone attack. Moscow on Thursday accused the U.S. of masterminding a drone attack on the Kremlin, a charge denied by Washington, and said Ukrainian sabotage on Russian territory has reached unprecedented momentum. Moscow said President Vladimir Putin was working from the Kremlin the day after the attack, which it said was a Ukrainian attempt to kill him. Decisions on such attacks are not made in Kiev, but in Washington, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said. Kiev only does what it is told to do. Washington should understand clearly that we know this, he said. Ukraine has denied responsibility, with President Vladimir Zelensky saying, we do not attack Moscow or Putin. The U.S. also denied any involvement. We had nothing to do with this, John Kirby, spokesperson for the White House National Security Council, said on MSNBC. Peskov is just lying there, pure and simple. The problem with that, the problem with what these officials are saying out of Ukraine and out of the U.S. and out of the White House is that we know that they lied about the attack on the oil pipeline. I believe it's called I forget the name of the pipeline. The pipeline that goes from Russia to Germany. We know that they lied about that. We are now fully aware that the U.S. are the people who did that attack and blew up the Russian pipeline, which allowed them to get oil from Russia into Germany, into Europe. We know that they lied about that. We know that they've lied about many other things when it comes to this war. We know we had the leaked documents that showed that they said that they were doctored, but of course they also didn't deny the fact that the documents were real. In these documents, these leaked documents from the Pentagon, they showed that Russia hasn't actually had 200,000 casualties in this war. They've had only about 17,000. Yeah. 17,000 compared to 2,000. I think that there's a bit of a difference there, bud. Just a little bit. But I digress. Guys, this is our fault. This is absolutely 100% the fault of our government. They are too heavily involved in a war, in a border dispute that has absolutely nothing to do with us. And at the end of the day, we are on the verge of Russia saying, you know what? We're not at war with Ukraine. We're at war with the United States. What is to stop them from saying that? What is to stop them from saying, you know what? You know what? Let's just get this over with. Let's just attack the U.S. Let's just send an ICBM right on into Washington. Guys, they have every... I'm sorry. According to warfare, they would have every right to do so. The U.S. has done nothing but attack Russia. Nothing. We've done it financially. We have done it militarily. We have been helping the Ukrainians using our drones. Our drones have been giving the Ukrainian military intel so that the Ukrainian military can kill more Russians. Guys, I don't think you fully understand just how warfare works. Russia does not care whether we're actually firing the shots or not. If we're involved, then we're involved. They don't care. And at the end of the day, this is extremely close to dragging us into a war that we did not want to be in. I'm telling you, a nuclear war with Russia or China will not go the way that we think it will. It won't. You won't survive. You won't. You might think you will, but you look at the nuclear bombs that were used back in World War II on Japan. Those look like hand grenades compared to the nuclear weapons that we have today, to the nuclear weapons that Russia and China have today. Guys, we've got, I don't know, man. I don't know. I keep telling people, get out, contact your reps, show up at their office every single freaking day if you have to, and say, hey, we don't support this, and you're dangerously close to getting us all killed. So unless you do something about this, we're going to primary you, and until the election happens and we get to primary you, we're going to make your life suck. We're going to be here every single day protesting things, trying to make sure that we get done what we need to get done to help America be a safe country again. Just look at both of these things, man. We got the border crisis. We got Russia on the verge of firing the nukes. Like, guys, this is no longer a safe country to live in. And it's every single bit of it is the fault of our own freaking government. I believe I saw a poll yesterday from the Epoch Times, and you know me, I'm not a big fan of these polls, seeing as how, the 2016 polls were saying that Hillary was going to win in a landslide, and we all know that didn't happen. But I saw a poll yesterday from the Epoch Times showing that like over 70% of people blame the government for our problems. And they're right. They're absolutely right. Look at all of these things. The border crisis would not be happening if the federal government just secured the border. The war in Russia, all of this tension with Russia would not be happening if the federal government just left it alone and didn't get involved in a border dispute that is on the other side of the freaking world and has nothing to do with us. Every single thing. All of these problems that we are having in our country today are because of the federal government. Guys, we have got to be contacting our reps. We have to be in your state. We need to be pushing for a convention of states. We need to be pushing our local legislatures for a convention of states. Try to get them to push for that, okay? Because at the end of the day, the federal government's not going to fix itself, okay? But we can, through a convention of states, the states can come together and add things to the Constitution that would further hamstring the federal government and keep them from doing idiotic things like this, okay? So that is going to be my show for today, guys. I will have another show probably coming for you guys tomorrow on Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section, and share the show with your friends. Follow me on all the socials down in the description, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we put out new videos. And follow me on Rumble so that we can push back against the censorship here on YouTube. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.